3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Chicken Zero.
Still not a smooth transition. Don't watch that. Okay. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. We'll fix that in post, as we often do. I'm not good at this live shit. I used to just make the opening on the other computer ahead of time, but then I was just fucking... My workload was just making openings to something that, 5 people are going to watch. Hello everybody, I'm Andrew. This is Resident Chicken Zero. We got some fun things that we're going to talk about tonight. I got to get David on here. I also need a beer, David, because what we're going to do tonight, David and I are going to determine... Let me get David on and we'll talk. I have to turn off all my cameras on here.
Good God.
It's fine.
You're
Actually,
such a pain in the ass.
Actually, it's not fine. There's so many cameras on here. I have so many different screens. Are you still watching the stream?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I can change that.
There's my Silent Hill. That one doesn't have one. Minecraft. We're good on Final Fantasy. Gotta get rid of my Resident Evil 2 screen. I actually need to go through here and delete these because I'm done with that. There's Dead Space. And then Ugly Face. Okay.
Oh.
And then I got... Oh, fuck.
Surprising everyone, including myself.
Jeez. 10 p.m. dad jokes.
Ha ha.
Alright. Now I have to get a beer.
Okay, take your time.
You introduce yourself. You're a longtime friend on the stream, but you take over, David. You're in charge. I'll be...
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David. A lot of people know me as Davey. In fact, most people know me as Davey because of this guy, Andrew. I do my own games. I do my own laundry. I do my own Twitch stream. And I'm just a gamer. That's all there is to me. I'm a gamer, a happy husband, and a dog dad. The end. Hope you're doing wonderful. Hope you're having a lovely day. My understanding is that today me and Andrew personally are picking our top 50 games of all time. In preparation for this, I already compiled 25 of my top games of all time, but it's in no particular order, so we'll see how that goes based on whatever it is Andrew wants to do with his chronology or ordering of the list here.
Were you telling them that this is going to be my top 50 and not yours?
No, I was saying that I already compiled my list of 25, but if it's just going to be your top 50, then go for it.
You made a list?
Yeah, I did.
Let's make... I wanted to do my own list because I didn't want to, force you into anything. But we
No, I figured since you said we were doing 50, and I thought, okay, cool, I'll divide it down the middle, 25 each. That way it doesn't put all the work on you, and I'm not just talking head, just telling you, okay, Andrew, talk more, perform more.
I want you to be my concierge.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds fancy, so thank you.
I don't know if I said it right. It's the dude... It's Tom in Godfather. It's like in the Mafia, you have your guy that keeps you doing things correctly.
Oh, gotcha. Your right-hand man type situation. Guy who keeps you in check.
But I want to see your list, so I think
Okay.
that's good that you made your own, because I didn't want to take your voice away, but I also don't want to make this list, because there might be shit on here that you're going to be like, that's dumb.
I don't know. There's probably going to be stuff on mine that you think is dumb too. I've even got some honorable mentions as well that I figured wouldn't make the list anyway.
Okay, I like this. Cool. Did you downloaded it?
Downloaded what?
Your list? Oh, you can share your screen. We'll share your screen. I don't want to see it yet, though. I don't want you to... Don't mess with...
Okay.
This
I wasn't going to do anything. I was just going to tell you my list over this.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Or if I do say a game, go. It's on the list, Andrew. I got it on my list because I'm sure.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure we have a couple. So
There's going to be at least a couple overlaps.
This is actually an excuse to kind of go over all the games I played, and I'm almost 40, so that's a lot of video games.
Yeah, our experience kind of encompasses everything from the NES and Sega Genesis onward, and you actually have a little bit more experience than I do because you had access to the 3DO.
I do. I had a Panasonic 3DO, which was a rich people system that my dad got from work, fortunately.
It's like $700 when that came out.
Yeah. The first thing I'm going to say, this is my 50 favorite games. So it doesn't mean that the games are going to be good, because I like bad stuff sometimes, and I'm okay with that.
I've been there.
The other thing I'm gonna start with a little controversy. There's probably not going to be anything from the NES on this list. There's probably not going to be anything before the NES on this list, because honestly, in hindsight, the NES is kind of overrated. What do you think about that, David?
I can't say I entirely disagree. It would like a lot of that stuff was revolutionary for the time, but this was something that I considered while I was making my list as well. I was like, I was sticking very much to nostalgia, but also to the stuff that aged best. And frankly, a lot of stuff on the NES just didn't.
What would you say is the best game on the NES, hands down? Like, not even favorite. I don't even like this game that much, but the one that like changed things.
Version of that would be the Guardian Legend, which was
think less obscure. Think very mainstream.
Yeah, Contra was up there in popularity.
Yeah.
I'd say Mario 3.
Thank you. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Mario 3 is probably the best game on the NES, and Mario 3 paved the way for games like Doom. So,
and it's really not even it's not even close. It's far from my favorite, but
it's not on the list. Yeah, I like Mario 2 better than Mario 3. And Mario 2 is not even a fucking real Mario game.
It's not even a real Mario. It was like Doki Doki Panic or some whatever the hell that they skinned Mario over.
It's my most played on the NES is Mario 2.
That does not surprise me. It was a great game.
I love and then I always wanted to play Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. That game sucks.
It really does.
It's such a bad. I watched my cousin beat that game.
It looks excellent, and it plays like absolute hot garbage.
So, my first system was the NES. I played Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, like anybody else that was alive in the 90s, or the late 80s and early 90s. So, I remember playing Mario. I remember playing Mario 2. I watched my cousin beat Ninja Turtles. My first system that I remember, like, turning on myself and plugging into a TV and playing would have been the Sega Genesis. It's not my favorite system. I prefer Super Nintendo over Sega, but Sega was like me becoming aware of like, oh, I really like this pastime. And what I'll say, we'll start with this. I have vivid memories of Ghosts and Goblins on the Sega Genesis.
Nice.
I don't know which one. None of these covers are right. It was called something else, wasn't it?
Ghouls and Ghosts, maybe?
I think it was Ghouls and Ghosts. Let's see. There it is. So I'm putting Ghouls and Ghosts on there. Here's the thing. I'm going to add things to this list, and I'm going to delete things. I don't know if that's something that's going to stay on there. Another one that's kind of up in there for me, that was a big one when I was really little, was the original Road Rash.
Didn't Road Rash come out on 3DO?
There was a Road Rash on 3DO, and I was even thinking about maybe possibly adding it, but
I didn't even know there was one on the Genesis.
oh yeah. And then this is the third one, and these 3 games might not stay on here, but I'm gonna add Kid Chameleon because I played that a lot when I was like 6.
I still haven't played Kid Chameleon.
It's so good. There's more Sega games that I played later, but we're gonna go into Super Nintendo just for the sake of time, because and we'll talk more about these games here in a minute.
Okay.
As far as those 3 games, I don't know if Ghouls and Ghosts should stay on there because it's such an annoying game. Like, as an old man, like, oh, you beat it? Fuck you! You gotta beat it again, you little baby. It's so crazy.
Well, but still, they just brought over the same sensibilities that they had used for a quarter munching arcade machine. So there wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't that staying power, the satisfaction of replayability.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what cover to do. I kind of like that one. The first game I ever set out to, like, I'm gonna fucking beat this game is Super Mario World. I was 7 when I got my hands on Super Mario World, and I was like, I am going to beat this game. And it probably took me 3 years to beat, so I probably, maybe 2. I played a lot of Super Mario World from the time I was like 7 till I was about 9. Which is funny because I got the classic SNES back here, and I beat Super Mario World in like one sitting.
What was that one that you... Shining Force. Didn't you play Shining Force
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole lot, too?
I was saving that. I played that when I was a little bit older more often.
I'll shut the hell up then. My bad.
No, you're good. I was saving it. Shining Force 2 will be on here for sure. So we did Super Mario World, and then another big one on the Super Nintendo, and I'm wondering if any of these are going to be on your list. The two biggest...
Again, I only did 25, so...
The 2 biggest ones here for me on the Super Nintendo was Mario World and Zelda Link to the Past. And that still might be my favorite Zelda. That was my first game. That was like my first big RPG that I got into and understood the mechanics and understood how it worked.
Link to the Past was in my honorable mentions.
Nice. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you have Super Metroid on yours?
That is in my honorable mentions as well. I didn't add multiple ones from the same series.
I'm trying to
that
do
were
the
like
same.
the same.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the same.
Because my absolute favorite side-scrolling Metroid is Fusion on the Game Boy Advance.
That is a good game. I don't have a Metroid game on my list.
How dare you?
I like Metroid. It's just like
This is
Metroid
how
Prime. I remember you guys let me Metroid Prime on the GameCube, and I hated it. I thought it was so boring.
This is how I find out.
Yeah, that's how you find out. What else? Okay, on Super Nintendo, another big one for me, and you might laugh at this. No, I don't think you'll laugh at me, but Donkey Kong Country.
That was on my list.
That is on your list. Here's the controversy, though, and I like this game way better. Diddy's Conquest. Which
I find no fault with that whatsoever.
If I put Diddy's Conquest, I'm gonna probably have to get rid of Donkey Kong Country. But Donkey Kong Country is so good. And then there was one more big one for Super Nintendo. You want to guess? Oh, you're looking at the screen. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm looking at your thing and also the screen and Star Fox.
Star Fox is so fucking good, dude. I played Star Fox. I didn't even play Star Fox until I was like in junior high and high school. I dug out my Super Nintendo and had a Star Fox kick. Star Fox.
Huh. That was around the time that we already had Star Fox 64, no less, too.
I played the original Star Fox on the Super Nintendo after I'd played and beaten Star Fox 64.
And you liked Star Fox on the SNES more?
I think so. I love Star Fox 64 though. They might both be on here though. That honestly, the older I get, if I'm gonna play the Super Nintendo, I'm probably gonna play Star Fox. Like Star Fox is probably gonna be turned on. It's so
That's
easy.
just your Star Fox system now?
Huh? Kind of, yeah. I mean, I played Star Fox and Star Fox 2 on that classic SNES more than anything else. That and Zelda. I beat Mario in like a day. So, going back to the Sega Genesis as I got older, around the time when I was hanging out, I think I was playing Zelda Link's Awakening still around David. But I was getting older and I was starting to get into more complicated games like Shining Force 2, like David mentioned. I might be slurring.
Spoilers.
Shining Force 2 is probably my favorite Sega Genesis game. Now, I left it out because I'm not going to put it on this list. I played the shit out of Sonic, and actually, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to put Sonic 2 on here. Just because Kelly and I played that a lot. I might put the Hedgehog.
Almost have that one on my list. My pick for Sonic was 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah. This one, Sonic came out when I was 4, and I thought it was cool. And I watched my mom play it a lot. My dad, gave me a Sonic 2 poster, because I think Sonic 2 came out, a year after Sonic. So I had this, hung on my closet door, and, I was hyped. This was, Sonic 2 was, the first time I was oh, I have to get this game, Dad. And, we have to get this. And fortunately, my mom loved Sonic, so, yeah, I remember Kelly and I beat this. And dealing with the frustration of Metal Sonic and all that, no, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't Mecha Sonic. Mecha Sonic was Sonic CD, but it was just the Metal Sonic at the end. So this is pretty much like me as a little kid. I would say this sums me up pretty well. There's one more though from Sega that I saw. I actually would probably go up in between Kid Chameleon and Mario World.
There you go.
Probably my favorite fighting game as a kid. And you could put all 3 on here, and there's better Mortal Kombats, but the original is pretty.
That's such a formative Mortal Kombat for the era.
So, David and I met around the time I was playing. I think I showed you Shining Force. You remember me playing Shining Force?
Yeah,
I'm sure we played Kid Chameleon and stuff. Those were all games I really liked around the age of 9 and 10. Another Jurassic Park was a big one around that time. I beat it, or no, I got to the end. And I couldn't figure out how to beat it. I fought my way through that difficult ass game, and
yeah, I got really esoteric near the end.
I got to the raptors at the end, and there's a specific way you're supposed to do things, but this is pre-internet,
yeah.
So I never beat it. But I don't think I'm gonna put that on here. That is a pretty cool movie game though. The Jurassic Park on the Sega Genesis. But something that David had that I didn't have that I thought was really cool is David had an old school Game Boy. And so the only time I had seen a Game Boy before David was my grandma had one, and she had the best game of all time. And it's not even my favorite. I'm not saying this is my favorite game of all time, but she had Tetris on there, and that's what I thought a Game Boy was for Tetris, which is kind of funny. But David
for a lot of people, it was the Tetris machine.
David had a much cooler game that he let me play a lot, and that was
nice
Link's Awakening.
This was almost on my list, but I went with Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
No, yeah, those are fun. Those are cool. I don't know if that can stay on here though, because there's a couple more Zeldas that were pretty huge.
I know, right? That was the problem that I ran into. Was I've got here's this one, but then there's also this other one that I played a few years later.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put it on here for right now. Other than that, the last Game Boy game. You know me pretty well. Here, I want to start typing it.
I was gonna say Ninja Gaiden, maybe.
On the Game Boy?
That was more me.
Original Game Boy?
Yeah.
No.
I had Ninja Gaiden on the Game Boy.
No. It was something we were all playing for a while.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon was pretty big at the time.
I'm also going to probably stream this soon. I have it all set up on the computer to play Red version.
Nice.
Black and white and all. Pokemon Red version was probably my most played, OG Game Boy game. There's other good Game Boy games. Because I played a lot of I like my Game Boy, especially when I was in the military. I really got into the DS and everything. I think that's good for Game Boy. If I was gonna do any more Game Boy games, though, a big one for me was Castlevania Circle of the Moon.
Nice.
I like Circle of the Moon more than I like Symphony of the Night.
Which Circle of the Moon was that? The one with Soma?
No, that came way later. Circle of the Moon was the first Game Boy Advanced Castlevania.
Okay, so this is the one with like the Morris kid and his
Nathan Graves.
mentor's son. That's the one. Thank you.
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah, there's Belmonts in it, but the Belmont was bad.
My I think the one that really hit me was Dawn of Sorrow? No, Aria of Sorrow was the one on the Advance.
Yes. No.
And then
yes, that was the third
Dawn
one.
of Sorrow was the one that came out on the DS.
Yes. And so Soma started in the third Game Boy Advance one and then moved on. I think Harmony of Dissonance or some shit was the second one.
Yeah, it was something. Or Harmony of Dissonance was actually a multiplayer game.
Oh, I didn't know
on
that.
On Xbox 360.
What am I thinking? What's the second one then? I don't know, man. Those games have the weirdest.
I know. Yeah,
I beat
the strangest naming convention.
I beat Castlevania 2 on the N64 too, which is
nice.
Something to be said about renting a game from Blockbuster and going, I have to get my money's worth.
Of course.
Okay, so now we're teenagers. We've mentioned the 3DO. I don't know if any 3DO games would probably be in my top 50. If I was, Road Rash was a big one. My Uncle Scott's had a 1969 Cadillac that it was a convertible. His car isn't like in that game, which is really cool. And then I played a lot of. That was my favorite Street Fighter. I think it was Street Fighter. I don't know. There's a specific Street Fighter that was on that. It was the hardest one. It's probably Street Fighter X or some shit. Street Fighter 2 Extreme. I don't know.
They had so many, like Street Fighter Alpha, Recore, Overmix, Revisionist.
It was probably my favorite. I tried playing it recently as an adult. That game is like near impossible to play. It's so hard. I don't know how. I beat it a couple times, and I don't know how. I probably just sat there for hours.
Street Fighter Alpha.
But I think this is pretty good. After this, around this time, my parents got me a Nintendo 64. So the first game I had on the Nintendo 64 was WCW NWO Revenge, which
remember that.
We all played that quite a bit. I'm going to put that on there for right now. Oh, I missed a Super Nintendo game. But it was better on this system, so I'm actually going to skip it. We're going to say Mario Kart 64, I think was a little bit better.
Good call.
I like the original.
I like the original a lot, and Charlie and I played it quite a bit, but I feel like 64 was probably my favorite. It's not the best, guys. These are my favorite games of all time. The best is, well, probably just came out. I don't know. I'm not spending that much money on it right now.
Same.
It's crazy.
Not really crazy interested in getting the newest platform and the newest iteration right now.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
and like I love Super Smash Brothers when that came out on the Nintendo 64, but that ain't going on here.
No.
I actually think that's good. I'm gonna. This is hard. I could. So Ocarina of Time.
It doesn't have to be hard. Remember, you're just getting what you're subjectively just games that you like. You don't have to.
That's true.
You don't even have to fight with yourself about what is objectively better. Like,
I have to fight with myself on what I like more. Because Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask were huge games. I don't know if I like those more than, or if when I played them at the age that I did, if I liked Ocarina of Time better than Link to the Past. I feel like Link to the Past, I played and enjoyed more and looked forward to playing more than I did Ocarina of Time.
So here's what's interesting is even though they're the same series, I feel like there's a distinct enough difference in the way that the games play and present themselves.
100%, yeah.
That you could have Link to the Past, and then you could have Ocarina or Majora's Mask, something representing the N64 era, and it would still represent a vastly different era in Zelda gameplay.
As much as I liked the N64 as a kid, I would not go back and play any of this shit really that much. I tried. I went and played Mischief Makers on stream a couple weeks ago, and it was fun, and it might be better. I got an N64 controller, and I couldn't get the N64 controller to work, so I'm using an Xbox controller. But I played the N64 for years. But the things I was playing on it past a certain point was definitely like my wrestling games, honestly.
Yeah.
That was kind of... So, I mean, there's one more game.
The coolest thing we took away from the N64 was the analog stick. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else about the N64 controller was just hot shit.
Well, I love, like, I loved Mario 64. I mean, Mario 64 could go on here. That's probably the best video game on the Nintendo 64. But since we're doing my favorites, I have one final game I'm going to put on here. You have any guesses?
Off the top of my head, no.
They don't have a box for it?
Like maybe... No, it wouldn't be Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong 64. I needed Donkey Kong 64 in order to play this, and I like Donkey Kong 64 better than I liked Banjo Kazooie.
What do you need Donkey Kong 64? But the expansion pack? Didn't that come with Majora's Mask, though?
No, it came with Donkey Kong 64.
Huh.
I didn't get it with... Maybe there was a version... why isn't it coming up? It's fine. I'll put it up.
I remember needing an expansion pack for Majora's Mask.
Yes.
It wasn't necessary, but there was like a problem with a memory leak or something.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, there's a girl on the school bus trying to borrow it from me, and I was like, no.
No.
I got Donkey Kong 64 and Resident Evil 2 for the Nintendo 64
Oh.
same Christmas, and I was in 7th grade, and 7th grade, yeah, that was a good... I was playing Resident Evil 2 when the year 2000 hit on New Year's Eve night.
I really would have expected. I associate Resident Evil 2 so much with the PlayStation 1 era.
Yeah,
I would have guessed.
I played it on the N64. I have a PS1, so that's that. I originally played Resident Evil 2 at my uncle's house, and I did play it on PS1, but I only had the N64. So when they ported it, and to be fair, the port of that game onto a cartridge is still pretty crazy that they managed to pull it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's still a game I play, So, I have it on my PC right now. It's one of my all-time favorites. This is probably going to be up here by the end of this because I am going to try and put these in.
Are you going to rank these?
We'll see. We'll see how long this takes.
I was going to say I didn't put mine in any particular order. I was just like
that's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I were to do that, Resident Evil 2 is. I always say that's my all-time favorite game. I have the N64 box displayed proudly. And I could put more Resident Evils on here, but I plan to rank them. I did Final Fantasy recently. I don't know if you saw that, but
no, I don't think I did.
I ended up putting Final Fantasy Tactics for number 1, and then Final Fantasy 9, which is pretty weird. I think Tactics, and then 7. I think that's the order. I was like, yeah, this is probably how I.
If I had to, because I've said before several times that Final Fantasy IX is, I think, the superior PlayStation 1 RPG to Final Fantasy VII.
Gameplay,
but 7 was it remains my favorite, but I still think 9 was better.
I think 7 has a cooler story, and I think 7 has better characters for your party. Like,
I agree, and I think 9 has better art. The art is just way better. The world is presented so much better than... And these games came out... It just hit me, like, last week. Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy X came out, like, 4 years apart.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is pretty crazy. Yeah. That's... I was just talking about 10 the other day because somebody was like, 10 sucks. And I was like, I don't know if that's accurate. I mean, there's things about 10 that are really dumb that I didn't like. But the fact that I just spent years reading all my RPGs out loud to myself, and now I had... And it was decent voice... Like, it has a decent story and decent voice acting.
Yeah. It doesn't reach my lofty expectations, but that's also... They're doing a lot of new stuff with 10.
I did not like the sphere grid stuff, but...
I didn't like the sphere grid stuff at all.
Yeah.
I've always been biased though because I liked how malleable and configurable the materia system is.
Yeah,
I've just
it's
always been a fan of that.
it's not as complicated. And
You
they
can turn
brought
anybody into whatever class you want. You could always have Barrett as your tank,
They brought
and
that shit back. They brought that shit back in 12
it's so wild.
with the license board. That was just a sphere grid.
Yeah, it's just a sphere grid again.
Okay, so that's in 64. So I was able to really get into PS1 once my mom got me a PS2. Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh,
That was my first PS2 game. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you what I got after Grand Theft Auto 3. It's been too long. Devil May Cry was a big one. I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto in the PS2 days. We're going to kind of go up into adulthood. I had the PS2 from 2001 until probably 2006. I was still playing stuff. There was games like...
I think I remember borrowing San Andreas from you.
you
That's how I
might...
played
Yeah.
most of it.
I think my favorite is Vice City. But
That's fair. You've always been really big on Scarface.
Well, and that's actually one of the PS2 games. Thank you.
Oh, no shit.
This is one of the best games on the PS2. And actually, as an adult, I would rather play Scarface than Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City, if I'm being honest with you.
That's fair.
And that was
A
actually
movie
one of the
you
last ones.
loved and you get to play the alternate ending? Yeah.
It
No, I
was-
can understand how you would love that.
It was pretty good. You're basically dealing drugs, and you don't. And if you swim in the ocean, Jaws eats you. It's a great game. Great game. There's other PS2 games that are great. I mean, you got Yakuza was introduced on the PS2. That was a big one.
Was it?
Yeah, that came out on the PS2.
Huh.
It was like the very end of the PS2 days.
Monster Hunter hit on the PlayStation 2, but it didn't really find its footing yet.
Yeah, I never got into it. And a big thing with the PS2 that I liked, and this is also my problem with the PS4, I guess if you want to call it a problem, I always go back and play older shit. Like, there's games on the PS1 I wanted to play, so when I had a PS2, I got a PS1 memory card, I was playing Final Fantasy IX on the PS2, right?
Yeah.
I played Final Fantasy VII on the PS2. So I'll put that on here too.
That backwards compatibility was always awesome.
I loved it. I didn't take as much advantage. Well, no, I did. On the PS3, I downloaded a lot of the PS1 classics on there.
Sam, I've got several of them still on my PS Vita.
Yeah. I went from the PS2. I came back from the Middle East and I bought myself a 360 to celebrate. And the first game I played a lot on the 360 was Oblivion.
Nice.
But before I got the 360, I also had bought the original Xbox. Well, I think the 360 was already out when I bought the original Xbox, but I the best game on that was,
No, yeah, that one probably goes without saying.
Halo 2, yeah. I played Land of the Dead, which was crazy and not very good, and I played Indigo Prophecy, which was pretty cool. And then I played Dungeons and Dragons game. I forgot, Demon Stone or something like that. Oh, and then it's hard to have this on here when I have Oblivion, but I did play a lot of Morrowind on my Xbox.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the only one. I know a lot of people who go back and play Morrowind.
And I originally played Morrowind. I never played Oblivion I bought Oblivion for my Dell XPS at the time. It didn't work on there, but I could play Morrowind. Some big computer games that I liked as a kid was StarCraft.
Oh, I love StarCraft.
I bought StarCraft 2 when it came out. I didn't get into it as much as like Tommy and Jesse.
I never got around to playing StarCraft 2 at all.
And then probably my first like favorite computer game was Diablo 2.
I remember Diablo 2.
I'm gonna throw Age of Empires 2 on there too, just because I played that a lot.
Do what you're gonna do.
Those were my PC games though. We got Xbox 360. I don't know. I had 360 for so long, and there's so many good games on there. I like Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
I'm just gonna do Mass Effect. Oh, Mass Effect 2 is actually my favorite though.
I would list off some of my own, but it's your list, so I'm gonna just let you keep going
Which
until we.
Mass Effect was your favorite?
Me personally, mine was also 2.
I like the story. It's like the Empire Strikes Back of.
Also introduced one of my favorite characters, which was Morden Solus.
Yeah.
And then I think it was. Was it 2 or. No, it was 2, where Legion was introduced as well.
Yeah, he was in 2. I'm gonna put Dragon Age on here. I don't know if Dragon Age is gonna stay, but I played a lot of Dragon Age because I liked Mass Effect
Origins?
so much.
I liked Origins a lot.
Yeah, the original Dragon Age. I've been trying to get through Veilguard, and I just.
No, it's not hooking you?
It's not bad. Have you played it?
No, not yet. I've got it on my PS5, though. It's installed.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, if you have it, it's good.
Well, I got it for free. So.
Oh, shit, I didn't mean to add that. Oh, well. We got,
Oh, sick. That's on my list, too.
Red Dead Redemption. I love Red Dead Redemption 2. I think they might both be able to stay on there, just because different time
I think that's
periods.
fair, because Red Dead Redemption 1 also has Undead Nightmare, and that's, like, 100% its own qualification, all on its own.
Well, and for 10 years, I think I got the 360 in 2007. I played on that, 6 years, 6 or 7 years. I didn't, Grand Theft Auto 4 was a big deal when it came out in 2008. I went and bought it the night it came out. I left work, I went on lunch at work because I worked Graves, and I was like, can I go get Grand Theft Auto 4? And my boss was like, yeah, take an extra hour or whatever. And I was so excited about that game, and it was like, it wasn't that great, man.
Yeah.
I played it for about a week. I ended up going back and beating it later, but it wasn't. Yeah.
The biggest thing I took away from Grand Theft Auto 4, that was the one with Nico Bellic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing I took away from that was the animations and the systems involved in making a character move naturally.
Yeah.
Then there was the Havoc physics system and whatnot. That just got me even more inspired to do animation and stuff like that. It had very little to do with inspiration from the game itself proper.
Grand Theft Auto 4, the thing that really impressed me when I played it was there was like a weight to the character. Like if you could fall over and stuff. There's like more. When you play like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, it feels like a paper doll almost. Like it's not.
Yeah.
And then Red Dead Redemption took that even further. It was like, yeah, I can trip and fall and shit now. Like there's weight to my character. Like.
And in Red Dead 2, when you eat shit,
is...
you feel like Arthur just ate shit.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
When they started introducing it was like Havoc or Euphoria physics or something like that. That was GTA 4 was where that was first introduced, and then just Red Dead and GTA 5 to a much lesser extent, but then Red Dead Redemption 2 really capitalized on that.
Yeah. And these might be replaced too, but I'm gonna put Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas because I did play those a lot on the 360. Fallout New Vegas is a better game than Fallout 3, but you wouldn't have Fallout New Vegas without Fallout 3. So I there needs to be respect there. New Vegas is like one of the best written like Bethesda games. It's not even a Bethesda game.
Agreed. It's wild
so
because
good.
it's one of the only Fallouts you can come across where you're not playing as a Vault Dweller.
Yeah, I dig it. I like New Vegas. I think that was actually probably my favorite 360 game was New Vegas. It's my most played. I started with Oblivion, and then when New Vegas came out in 2010, I think I played that for a solid year. I played that. It came out in 2010. I think Skyrim came out 11/11/11, so a little over a year I was playing New Vegas, and then I jumped onto Skyrim, which I also started with on the 360. Skyrim.
Oh, and of course, there's Joshua Graham's portrait right there. Joshua Graham was hard as hell.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
He was a sick character.
I think that's pretty good for 360. I went from the 360 to the PS3, and I played a lot of like Call of Duty on the PS3, and I was playing a lot of like I got like Tales of Symphonia that I played quite a bit. Dragon Age Inquisition came out around then, but a big one was for me was a game called The Evil Within. I don't know if you've ever played that, David.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And another weird one that was kind of
I didn't play
similar.
the sequel, but I liked Evil Within.
You know what's funny is I bought the sequel the day I brought Charlie home from being born.
Aw.
And his mom was staying with me, and I think it was a little offensive to her. Because the main boss of that is your dead wife, and she's... Why can't I spell premonition? Are you saying premonition?
Deadly
That doesn't sound right. That is... Oh, you're right, David. You're so smart.
I was right. Hey, yeah.
Which
I
is
wouldn't
like...
go that far.
That's like the Twin Peaks Silent Hill version of like... Or no, it's like the Twin Peaks version of Resident Evil, right?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Oh, that just reminded
It's
me.
a good way of putting it.
I'm not going to put Silent Hill on here, and I want to talk more about like my favorite companies here in a minute. There's there's a glaring game that I love that we both love that's not on here right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Don't
say
okay,
it.
There's one that I was thinking of, and the only reason it confused me was because you haven't mentioned the GameCube at all yet.
Yeah, I'm going to get there.
Okay.
To be fair though, I don't know if I put any GameCube games on here.
There's only one GameCube game I can think of that I know you've played.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay.
We're kind of done with the PS3. PS4 is pretty easy. This is modern day. This is my last console. I played Switch. But on the PS4, it's pretty easy. I don't know. Like, what's some big games? Honestly, this is going to be kind of silly, but one of my favorite games on the PS4 was a game called Days Gone. You ever heard of Days Gone?
No. Fantastic game, yeah.
It's so good. But do you know what they were going to call it originally?
No.
The original title of this game was The Dead Don't Ride. Why the fuck did they change the title? Why did they not call this The Dead Don't Ride?
That sounds sick.
That would have been the best name to a game ever, but whatever.
That would have been like branding on the same tier as Sons of Anarchy.
That's such a great game. And Red Dead Redemption 2 was a huge one, I think, for a lot of people. Very similar. Oh God. Very similar in like game mechanics. I really loved Ghost of Tsushima.
Same.
I was a samurai when I was playing that. Kind of like I was a cowboy when I was playing Red Dead Redemption. I felt like I was a samurai, and it paid tribute to a film genre that I don't know if a lot of people watch samurai movies, but like I watch samurai movies like I watch westerns. So those two kind of go together for me.
Did you play it in the black and white mode?
I played around with it, but I mean, sometimes, yeah.
I'm not saying you're not a legit enjoyer if you hadn't played through the whole thing with it, but
I played it in Japanese though. Like I had subtitles, and I treated it like I was playing a samurai movie. Like I love that game.
I love playing it. No matter how I play that game, I love playing that game. But it is a treat to be able to play that in the black and white mode with the limited frame rate and the like artifacting on the screen.
Yeah,
it's just a fun time. It knows exactly what it's paying tribute to, and it does so beautifully.
I think I have the 3 PS4 games that I would want on there. I mean, there's a PS4 is probably. I've always said like PS2 might be my favorite, but like in hindsight, I played on the PS4. I got the PS4 in 2017. I've been on that for a while, 8 years. I still plug it in and play. It's down here. It's the only console I have plugged in right now. So I mean, I'm definitely like on PC mode right now. I love Steam right now. I would rather get a Steam Deck than a Switch 2. So
same. I'm at that point as well right now.
I have access to so many different games that it's hard to be like, oh, I'm going to spend $1,000 on this thing that I have to, be in the living room for. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
The PS4 here in my house, I had an extra TV in our bedroom that finally died. So I had a table off to the side of the bed. So when my my wife's watching whatever on TV, I could play the PS4, and I think that's how I got so much extra like game time in. But if I got a Steam Deck, I could do the same thing. So
Yeah, exactly.
So there is one.
And it's not on the GameCube. Well, there was a remake of it on the GameCube, but what was the GameCube game you were thinking, David?
I was thinking either Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 1 Remake.
I do like those games. I love those games. And I'm glad you said them. But there's one that you and I both love. I know you like Resident Evil, but there's one that you and I like a little bit. I don't know if you like it more than, but I would assume I liked Resident Evil more than this game series, and you like this game series more than Resident Evil.
I was Wind Waker?
Ew, no.
Smash Brothers?
No. Think like Resident, like story driven, like
Fatal Frame.
not scary.
Not scary?
Yeah, it's like one of your favorite games on the PS2.
One of my favorite games on the PS2.
At least when we were kids.
When you said GameCube, the very next thing I was thinking of was Eternal Darkness, because the cool like psychological things that would mess with you on.
I love Eternal Darkness, and I have it back here with the Resident Evil games, but no.
Shit, man.
The one that we played a lot on it's on the PS2. The one that we played a lot. The main character was not the main character of the series is not the main character of this game.
You talking about our good old Konami buddy?
Yes.
With the bandana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to put Metal Gear Solid 2 on here. I'm going to probably put the best one. And actually, hold on. I am going to put the best one. Hold on.
The best one is still on PS2.
No, the best one's not on PS2. I'm going to put the actual best one. I'm putting 5.
Really? 5 over 3?
If you'd let me get there, I'm going to put 3. But 3 is not the best one. 3 was the best one until 5 came out. Metal Gear Solid 5 is like the best game of. That is the end. That I played that on the PS4 more than anything, probably.
You know what? In fairness, I think 3 gets the benefit of a lot of my nostalgia and bias.
3 is great.
So
3 is
so
awesome.
I when I look at them side by side, like actual features and whatnot, I can see how. I think 5, on the other hand, runs into the problem of the controversy of how Kojima exited Konami and how they never really finished the story.
I'm putting
But
3
just
on,
as a game, 5 is fantastic.
I'm putting 3 up because 3 has the best story, like in a video game, for its time. Like we played Metal Gear Solid 3 when you were a junior in high school. I was a senior. We played Metal Gear Solid 3, and then Resident Evil 4 came out like a couple months later. And you let me borrow 3, I think, and I played it and beat it in one night and gave it back to you. And you're like, what the fuck? I went home from school and then I stayed up all night and beat it and then saw you at school. And then I beat 4 in like one night and I went to school the next day.
I remember you having delusions from lack of sleep.
We were in keyboarding class and I stopped and David was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I was looking for my life bar. Like, I'm not even... I paused because I couldn't find my life bar.
This poor dude sitting in his computer class cubicle looking for his UI on the GameCube.
That class was so annoying. Miss Hammond, tell you what. You boys aren't taking this serious. Nope, not going to. But Resident Evil 4 definitely goes on there. Probably my most played GameCube game. I'm not... I like the Resident Evil 1 remake, and I like Resident Evil 0. I don't think they're going to go on this list, though.
I didn't know you hated Wind Waker.
You didn't know I hated Wind Waker?
No.
We've literally argued about my hatred for Wind Waker. That is the dumbest fucking game.
Biggest disappointment of my life.
I mean, we could argue more about it. Did you like Twilight Princess?
Yes, but not enough to put on this list. If I'm not going to put Majora's Mask on this list, I'm not going to put Twilight Princess.
That's fair, yeah.
I got really far into Wind Waker because you were nice enough to let me borrow it. It's going to sound stupid. The fucking boat concept and riding around the ocean on a boat is the dumbest. It was so dumb. It's like I love Silent Hill 2, and I played it, and I really enjoyed it for that time period.
Mm-hmm.
But when I play it now, oh, there's fog everywhere because they didn't want to fucking like render a game. Like I'm just running through, like, yeah. So some things I purposely did not put on here because these are like really good games that maybe not a lot of people know about. I did get The Dead Don't Ride, but I would put this on
Such
here.
a cooler title than Days Gone.
I'm gonna call it that from now on. This is, I don't know if this belongs on this list, but Zone of the Enders is such a rad
It belongs
game.
if you like it. Oh yeah, hell yeah, absolutely. I don't even care about the rest of my sentence, but Zone of the Enders on there.
Zone of the Enders, and I was gonna do Zone of the Enders 2, which is probably the superior game. But there's just something about that game that, like, I don't know. I was actually looking at getting Metal Gear's Solid Resistance because I've never played it. I feel like that's kind of like the way it controls it looks like it's kind of like Zone of the Enders with the sword and everything. Did you ever play Resistance
No.
with Raiden?
Oh, Revengeance. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
No, I have indeed played that one. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yes, it plays a lot like Devil May Cry.
Cool. Which is Zone of the Enders would be the Kojima's
Yeah, Zone of the Enders
Devil May Cry.
is just like that with flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And I enjoyed Metal Gear Solid 4. I like the whole series. I feel like 2 probably should be on here because I played that a lot too. But I don't know. 3 took everything that 2 did and made it better. And I played 2 recently, and I was like, that was pretty cool. But I played 3 recently, and I went, well, this game's fucking rad. The story to this game is so cool. We got Shining Force 2. I don't think I'm missing anything. So we have 5 open spots. It's 45 games that I love.
That's a nice round number. Good night.
Oh no, there's one. There's one that maybe people, and I think you would appreciate it because we played it a shitload. Way of the Samurai on the PS2.
Oh man.
I ended up getting this game for myself. You had it for the longest time. I ended up getting it for myself. I love, and this is something I love about Resident Evil 2, but this does this better. I like the idea of playing a story and there being repercussions to your actions, such as Mass Effect or Dragon Age, because I'm very story driven. Like there's not. I mean, I like open world games, but there's not too many open world games on here, really.
Yeah. For all the open world games that we have, there's not a whole lot with very significantly branching narratives.
Yeah, and I like that I can manipulate the game and like I can do something, the game ends, and then I'm just gonna jump back in and I'm gonna keep playing it over and over and over again and get better and better, and find those results that I would want.
In that constant new game plus
Yeah.
loop of being able to take your stuff in over and over again, try out this new thing, try to take over this, or not take over, but like usurp this faction's power and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Lots of really cool endings and combinations. Or you can just be some loner jackass who just leaves, who just walks through the pass and is just gone.
They weren't able to recapture this either. I tried so hard to do. You got it too. We got Way of the Samurai 3 maybe for the 360, and it just doesn't. It's not terrible,
No.
but they got too cute with it. This is like a samurai game. Okay, PS1. I wonder. I didn't give the GameCube any love. I gave them Resident Evil 4, and that's it.
Did you ever play Parasite Eve?
Mm-hmm. I like.
Didn't leave
Parasite
much of an
Eve.
impression?
No, I like Parasite Eve. I mean, PS1 has so many good games on it, like Xenogears. You know, I am going to put this on here because we haven't touched Final Fantasy really. I think I put Final Fantasy 9 and 7. I'm going to leave Tactics off. I gave Tactics number 1 for the series, but I think I'm going to leave Tactics off.
I mean, it's getting a full-on remake.
Yeah.
Well, remaster, something close. It's certainly the UI is being remade. Lots of quality of life improvements too.
I forgot what fucking game I was gonna do. Oh! I hate Chrono Trigger. There's a hot take.
You hate Chrono Trigger?
I think that game's so stupid, but I like Chrono Cross a lot. I like Chrono Cross better than Chrono Trigger. I don't know why I hate Chrono Trigger. I tried so hard to get into that game.
I don't like Chrono Trigger, but I don't like actively hate it or anything. I certainly like Chrono Cross more. It left a much bigger impression on me with the character designs, the world, the music.
I would say I like Chrono Cross almost as much as I like Final Fantasy IX. As far as world building. And it's weird because Chrono Cross came out right before Final Fantasy X. They had like a weird little like moment where they're like, Waterworld. That's a good movie.
Yeah, let's go.
I like fighting games, and I don't feel like I really like showed my love for fighting games on here at all.
You have Mortal Kombat on there.
I put Mortal Kombat. Is that the best fighting game? Absolutely not.
I actually, I'm gonna do. I don't care about Street Fighter as much as a lot of the fighting game community does, but I do like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 a lot.
Hell yes, brother.
I think that's a good game. We'll do that picture. All right.
I can make my chair squeak.
I have 2 spots open. I know exactly what one of the games I'm going to put in there is going to be, but I don't know. There's one more that we could figure out. I don't have any Devil May Cry. I played a lot of Onimusha. Anything Resident Evil I played a lot of, so it's hard to...
I feel like Onimusha counts as a Resident Evil to some degree.
It is, yeah, it's Resident Evil Samurai. I loved Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 could probably go on here, because I played that a lot. I haven't streamed it yet for some reason. I love the Final Fantasy VII remake, but I feel like it's kind of represented with Final Fantasy VII. I love the Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm looking at the games on my computer right now. I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed is great. I don't know if it's like in my all-time favorite, but I played a lot of Odyssey. In the last 10 years, though, I'm gonna say that this might be. I was so hyped for this game. I thought it was so good. I played it pretty fast. Minecraft could go on here. I do like Minecraft. Tears of the Kingdom is probably my favorite.
Sick.
My favorite Switch game. I love the story. I remember my wife got it for me for my birthday, and I'd be like laying in bed playing it on the handheld portion. I'd be like, "Do you understand that like this dragon is my girlfriend, and she's been flying around crying for 10,000 years? Can you comprehend that?" And she'd be like, "What the fuck did you just say to me? Like, what are you talking about?" I'm like,
she's like Walter White in that meme. Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then I'd show her stuff, and I'd be like, "Look, I gotta do this so I can get this cutscene at the end of the game and have like this come to an end. I can't have my girl flying around crying. Like it's so sad. We have to save her." So, and then I showed her the end, and like it was like pretty great for a Zelda game. Like that game, Breath of the Wild.
That finale was fantastic.
Breath of the Wild was great.
Boss fight sequence, all of it.
Yeah, Tears of the King. Yeah, dude, I was so stoked on that game. I beat it at 3 a.m, and I finally the credits started rolling. My wife kind of woke up and she's like, "Did you beat it?" I was like, "You just slept through like the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life." And I'm a war veteran. I've like been in explosions. This was cooler than that. I heard teeth popping, and this was cooler than that experience.
Jesus.
That experience.
I don't know if
that wasn't cool at
all.
all.
I don't know if I want to hear that story.
No, you don't. The point is, I've been through some shit, and I'm like, fucking Tears of the Kingdom got me, man. Got a little tear in my eye. It was good. I really like the Switch. I've played the Switch a lot. I really like the Wii. I can't think of any games that are like, I have to play these games right now. I mean, the Switch, if I was going to pick one, it'd be Tears of the Kingdom. I played Deadly Premonition 2 on there, and that blew me away. I don't know, what would you say your favorite Switch game is?
My favorite Switch game?
I love Super Smash Bros. Mario Kart's great on there. I figured it out. You probably wouldn't put this on here, and I don't know if this belongs on this list.
Maybe we'll see.
Mario Maker 2.
Get out of here.
Dude, Mario Maker 2 is so good. Are you crazy? Like,
Go to hell.
downloading maps. I played that probably more than Tears of the Kingdom, man. I made whole games on there with Charlie.
I can tell you right off the bat that Kingdom Hearts is not missing from that list. It's exactly where it needs to be. Not on that list.
I tried playing it recently. It's not very good.
I played Kingdom Hearts 3, and a frequent in-joke with me and my wife as we were playing it was just, at least the combat's good. Like,
Yeah,
that's it.
I think, and in hindsight, when we did play it, we were at the Coliseum the whole time. Like
Yeah.
I remember I got Kingdom Hearts 2, and I did not.
That was where the coolest Final Fantasy characters were. Cloud was in the first one.
Yeah.
And he had some cool-ass stuff. And then Auron from Final Fantasy X was in the second one.
I played
And-
it. I played that fucking 10-hour prologue, and when the actual game kicked in, I don't know what happened, but I did not follow through with it. I played the prologue, and then 10 years later, I tried playing it again. Played the prologue, fell off. I don't know.
Yeah, that prologue... Well, I mean, that prologue can kill a lot of runs because you're just like, how long does this take before I meet a character I recognize, for God's sake?
Yeah, it's bad.
Probably in chronological order, sort of the same way you did.
Okay. No Atari.
Uh,
I'm not allowing any
no,
Atari.
no
on
Atari.
no Atari on my show. Atari sucks.
what do we got? There we go. There it is right there, immediately. Mega Man 3. The first game I played...
I was trying to get you to bring up Mega Man because I did not put... You know it could have gone on there as Mega Man Legends.
Oh, don't worry. It'll go on this one. Why don't they even have
Good.
Mega Man Legends 3 here just to hurt me?
Which one did you do? Is that Mega Man or Mega Man 2?
This one's Mega Man 3, specifically.
You like Mega Man 3 more than Mega Man 2?
Yeah, it was I think a lot of it comes down to bias.
Yeah.
It was the first game that I played and beat. I beat Mega Man 3 when I was age 3, bro. Like, it's dope.
Dude, I did not beat any... No, I beat Altered Beast when I was like 3 or 4, but that's not the same as beating Mega Man 3.
Next up, we've got Guardian Legend, which was that hybridized, one of those hybridized games I told you about. It basically played like Zelda, and then occasionally you'd do a shoot 'em up section.
I think I played it.
You played as a gynoid android lady who could turn into a goddamn fighter jet, and she'd shoot stuff up.
Sounds like my wife. What is it called? Guardians?
Guardian Legend. Blaster Master, classic. We already mentioned that in yours. Just as an aside. Nope, not that one. Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Alright. Michael Jackson soundtrack, baby.
I don't think that I've played Sonic. What is it? Origins on the Switch, and it's multi-platform now. But the Ice Cap Zone no longer has that track anymore. They replaced it, so it's not the same.
Yeah, they got rid of it. There's
It's
something...
just not the same.
Yeah. You know what? Do you know how I know about Guardian Legend?
Hmm.
Did you ever make a stream of it?
I think I made a video of it years ago.
You did, and I watched it. That's how I know about it.
Disgusting. Can't believe people watch my garbage.
It was good. It was a good video. I went, this game looks cool.
I'm going to be making more videos here in the future, not just streams. But I've been thinking about doing lore videos and stuff,
Cool, man.
especially for games that I really like.
You did that with Final Fantasy VII. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, I'm going to do something a bit more structured, something a little bit less intensive. I bit off more than I could chew at the time, but I've got a better idea of what I can handle now. I'm going to just go ahead and put Donkey Kong Country, just country, period. It could honestly represent Diddy's Conquest or Dixie Kong or any of them, really. I kind of use Donkey Kong Country as a catch-all for all of those.
I left them both up. I don't know why. I probably should have switched out one of them with Donkey Kong 64. I beat that. Did you beat Donkey Kong 64?
Formative RPG experience was Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo.
That's a good one. Did you ever beat Donkey Kong 64, David?
No, I did not.
I beat.
I
that
wasn't
shit.
aware that anybody could beat Donkey Kong 64.
I beat it. I beat K. Rool at the end.
You absolute lunatic. I don't think I've ever seen the ending of Donkey Kong 64.
Really?
There's just so much shit you have to collect in that game.
Yeah, you have to beat the original Donkey Kong. You have to stack 2 monkeys, which means you have to beat all 4 levels of Donkey Kong and then do it again to get the emblem. And I did that.
What the hell?
And I did it. I got it when I was in 7th grade. I didn't beat it until I was a senior. I went back and I was like, I'm fucking beating Donkey Kong 64, and I did it one summer.
Good God.
And I was so proud of myself. No video proof. No, I'm just. I mean, I'm not. Why would I lie about such a stupid thing? But I beat that shit.
I'm going to also add Nier Automata pretty early, even though it came out in the 360 and PS3-ish era, wasn't it? Or was it PS4 and Xbox One? I think it was PS4, Xbox One.
Nier Automata is PS4. Nier came out on 360. The original Nier.
And the main reason I'm adding Nier so early is because it was on my
Lingerie.
list. It was associated in my
Lingerie
head.
robots. Lingerie robots.
Well, yeah, that was what brought me in 100%. And I was like, hot androids, sick. But what got me hooked after I started playing it was it starts off with a shoot 'em up section, just like Guardian Legend, and then you hit a boss section, and then you go immediately from that into exploring the world. And it became another situation where like the hybridized gameplay and storytelling and world building really drew me in. But absolutely hot androids brought me in, but that was the lure, and then the actual substance of the game hooked me.
Do you want to know my favorite thing about that game is? I love the idea that when you beat it, you're not even halfway through it.
Yeah, not even close.
And I never played Nier, so when I played Nier Automata, I realized, like, the game is restarting from a different perspective. Oh, and then, like, I was hooked. I played. I think you have to play through it 3 or 4 times.
5, I think 5 total times. You have to get to ending E.
I got ending E. I did it. I did all of
Yeah.
them, but Give me 1 second, David.
Okay, take your time.
But yeah, Nier Automata rules.
I'll have this up for when Andrew gets back. Why is there a Clorox picture here? That doesn't make any sense. Let me take a look at my list again real quick. See, I've only got 25, but I could easily, with my honorable mentions, go further than that. I could probably get to 50.
Charlie's still awake.
What's that?
Charlie never.
How is he still awake?
He's just in his bedroom playing. He's like, nobody told me to go to bed. I was like, you little shit.
Nobody told me what to do.
I'm gonna have to go put him to bed. He's fine.
I put in Metroid Fusion, and for some reason, Metroid Fusion with Clorox came up on.
There you go.
I don't know what that means, but Metroid Fusion is my favorite Metroid. I've played Dread since then, and Dread is fantastic. It's a really, really good game.
I agree.
But it wasn't as terrifying or thrilling as Fusion was the first time you play through it. The first time the symbiote version of the ex-symbiote version of Samus's suit shows up, I'm like, all right, yeah, I like the tone that it's setting here. It was very cool, very scary, yada yada. Let's go to. Already got Sonic and yes. Mega Man X4 is not on here. Okay.
Boo.
Boo this man.
No, Mega Man X4. Boo.
Okay, fair.
No, not fair. That's most people's favorite X game, I think. I like Mega Man. I like Mega Man X5.
Mega Man X2 was my favorite on the SNES, but 4 was kind of like where I felt like most of their budget and like their passion went on it. Yeah, Mega Man X5, when it came out, felt a lot like they had replaced the passion with a slideshow. So
yeah, I don't know why I love that game. I think my first Mega Man was Mega Man. My first Mega Man game period was Mega Man X. And
I'm just going to put this. I don't know which one this is, but I'm just going to put this as here to represent Mega Man X4 because I can't see it anywhere on this list.
Mega Man X. I thought it was Mega Man 10. I was so confused.
Yeah, so did my cousin at the time. Like, what happened to like 7 through 9 or something like that? I think 6 was the last one that was on the NES.
Yes. And then what they did 8 on the PS1, right?
PS2 or no, yeah, PS1, Sega Saturn.
Yes. Okay.
And
I don't like. I'm not big. I like Mega Man 2, but I'm not a big fan of original Mega Man. I love Mega Man.
The original Mega Man was
X.
a cool idea, but it felt like 2 and 3 really took the same ideas and refined them.
You know, I think 3 is a lot of people's favorite. Now that we're talking, I think, well, out of our friends, like I had a few friends who were like, Mega Man 3 is the best one. Why do I like 2 better?
I'm adding Zelda Oracle of Ages here, but I liked Ages and Seasons.
Seasons is better, dude.
Okay, that's fair. We can have this argument later when Dad isn't drinking.
This is my list. Seasons
I'm making Andrew's second list.
Seasons has the scary guy, the general.
Yes, but Ages has the hot evil lady.
Fair. Okay, I'll be quiet. This is your list. I had my chance. I'll be quiet.
You're damn right. Pennsylvania, where is it?
Does it count as drink if I have a beer?
I don't know. Are you drunk? On a beer?
Probably.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night
I had a couple beers before this beer.
My favorite, I think, still to this day, my favorite Castlevania is Symphony of the Night with Alucard.
The start of Metroidvania.
Yep.
David, was it? No, it was Dak. Dak and I played Symphony of the Night on the 360, and there was one night there's a spot where it drops 100 gold. You like leave the screen and come back, and we were
just farming that shit.
Yeah, and we were just talking on Xbox Live.
Mega Man Legends here to represent 1 and 2. 3 never came out, so I don't know why that title's even on there. I still, to this day, await every game showcase and Capcom press event.
I'd be stoked. Charlie's gonna Charlie does his stream tomorrow. He's gonna try Mega Man Legends.
Oh, nice. I've actually got it now on my PC emulator set up to where it has more modern camera controls and responds to the right analog stick and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah.
And I've also got it modified to do 60 frames per second. So
well, that's better than what I'm doing. I'm just on Project 64, but I have it set up pretty good.
It is a good time. I really liked it. It's very charming, and I think part of the reason that it's got so much staying power is because the art style of the game itself, despite being heavily pixelated and very jaggy polygons and stuff like that, the art style was solid, and it's really aged super well.
I agree. I like that whole. I like the Tron Bond stuff. I like the serve bots. I even like the Tron Bond game.
Banjo-Kazooie for N64 platformers.
Great game.
That one stuck with me for a long time, and I like that one a lot. I don't like it more, though. I gave a lot of consideration to this, but I don't think I like it more than Mario 64.
That's
Super Mario 64 is just... It's like... They control so differently in a way because Mario is so snappy and so fast and so responsive. And there's so many like weird mechanics as well that you forget about or didn't even know about until you go back and play them and do different button combinations. Like finding out you can crouch and then hit the B button and Mario does like this breakdance kick move or something.
Yeah.
Or you do like you're running full tilt and then you do a sudden 180 and you can do this awesome side backhand spring or something like that. Just a lot of crazy mobility and stuff that people are still finding to this day, especially crazy speed runners.
I would rather play Mario. Like if I had the choice between the two right now, I would put in Mario 64, which I played on the Switch. I got the Mario whatever, those 3 in 1.
Is Mischief Makers even on here? You bet your ass it is.
Fuck
Fantastic.
yeah! Yes, I played that. I played that on stream.
Mischief Makers. I love that game. That was my first. It was a little bit bittersweet because I got my N64. I was crazy happy, and the one game that I wanted more than any other game on the N64 was Mario 64. You didn't get an N64 without wanting or expecting Mario 64 at some point. The only game that I had for the N64 for years instead was Mischief Makers.
You know who,
So I upgraded to the next platform just that I could play a new version of side-scrolling crazy action shit.
do you know who made? Do you know what other big game came from that same company?
From Treasure, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It was on the Sega, I think.
I know they did Silhouette Mirage at one point, but that was like an obscure Japanese-only title. That was similar, but not quite.
It's on my Sega Classic, the first rendition.
Gunstar Heroes?
Yeah, buddy, that's Mischief Makers.
Nice.
Did you know that? I just found that out the other day, and I was like, I gotta tell David about that.
I didn't know that, but it makes sense with the art style.
It
'cause
does, yeah.
It's iconic.
It's a
their
very
art
small
style.
company. I don't think they're around anymore, but I think they, a very small company made those two games. Pretty rad.
Final Fantasy VII.
I only know about Mischief Makers because of David's reluctant purchase. Or his grandma's reluctant purchase.
It was absolutely my grandma. She grabbed that for me, and she was
yeah.
just like, she looked at it and she's like, robots and cute girls? I bet he would like this. And
game's
she's not
great.
wrong.
No, it's so
I mean, in retrospect, she was more right about all of it than she had any right to be. But
That game, hold on. That game holds up better than Banjo-Kazooie, I think.
Mischief Makers? I'd say so.
The other day when I
Yeah.
was playing it, I was like, I could play through this all the way and have fun.
I could get lost in this again, especially since you can do like better scores and go for like A or S ranks or something like that on each of
Yeah.
the missions. Yeah, you could very easily get caught up in that all over again.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. You're
FF7
talking-
goes without saying.
Yeah, huge game for David.
We've already got FF7 listed. I actually like Remake and Rebirth more, but I think it all kind of falls under the FF7 banner, so to speak.
I gotta get back into Rebirth because I love that remake, the first remake, and I don't know, Rebirth.
Rebirth is just crazy dense and bloated.
Is
It
that my
feels like to a
issue?
lot of
Because
people.
I'm skipping a lot of it, and I'm feeling like I'm getting stuck, like doing things I don't want to do.
A lot of people felt the exact same way, yeah.
Oh, I haven't looked at any reviews because I haven't beaten it yet. I don't want it to be spoiled.
I'm picking this cover art because this cover art is badass. I love this artwork. But Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, if I had to pick specifically which version, I would go with the 3DS remake.
Yeah.
That was just gorgeous. It holds up way better than the original version for sure.
That was even the original version was a big game for both David and I. They came out right after my grandpa had died, and nothing can really cheer you up. But I remember Christmas break, my mom and I were sitting there really sad, and she had got me Majora's Mask, and I played that. I had that beat within that Christmas break.
And if there was anything that really made you feel better about the passing of a relative, it was a game about avoiding the permanence of mortality and saving.
Yeah, ironically, yeah. In fact, I probably should have put Majora's Mask on my list, but
My favorite quest line in any Zelda game is still in Majora's Mask, and that is Cathay and Anju.
yeah,
That whole situation, especially how it culminates at the very end with the moon coming down and the clock ticking down, that music, I'm just like, every time I go to beat the game, if I can, I get to the end of that quest as my finale, and then I go to the clock tower to face off against Skull Kid.
yeah.
That's just my favorite way to end things thematically.
I had the Fierce Deity mask, and I had every mask, and I a lot of people did not like the concept of the clock, and I thought that was such a cool mechanic. I really think I don't know.
I'm shocked that I liked it because
Me too.
In retrospect, I found out that I've had anxiety for a long time. So
Yeah.
things that kind of like mess with my anxiety real bad over time. I have no idea how Majora's Mask hooked me the way that it did. but I ran into the same thing with Final Fantasy 13-3 Lightning Returns. Essentially the exact same mechanic. You have a limited amount of time.
Hold on. There's
And-
3 games to that?
There is 13 games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You played all of them?
I've played all of them. Yes.
What the fuck? I was just talking about trying 13 again, and I'm like, I don't think I can.
13. I've described 13-2 and Lightning Returns to everybody who I've talked to about this as an excellent. Those 2 sequel games are an excellent apology for what the first game is.
Can you just start on 2?
I would say watch a video on 1.
Yeah? Would that be the
'Cause
trick?
I think so.
Because I've heard 2 is really good.
1 is it's just a story that's being told in a disjointed fashion to you. I likened it when I was first playing it to somebody on the team, the scenario writer watched Lost and loved the idea of not telling a story in order.
Okay.
And that's how that felt a lot of the time. Whereas if they had actually started at the beginning of events where they had like the beach where all of the characters just happened to be at a certain time,
Yeah.
then it would have been more like thematically tied together. Okay, this is how they all know each other. This is how they've all interacted. Here's the butterfly effect, stuff like that. Whereas the way that we're being told the story is sort of like it's like if the original FF7 started with the flashback in Nibelheim, and then you come out of it and it's Cloud telling the story, but you don't know who Cloud is, you don't know who Aerith is, you don't know who Barrett is. And then as they get to the next town or to the Chocobo Ranch, then it flashes back to Midgar at the beginning of Disc 1, and you're just like, what the hell is happening? What's going on? So,
How long do you think...
it's a weird time.
You know what made me hate that game? I don't hate it, but the thing that made me give up, I asked you what you... Because you had beaten it, and I was like 30 hours in. And I was like, I'm just running on a fucking straight line, David. And you're like, about 60 hours it opens up. And I went, fuck this.
Okay, so I think you got to 30-ish hours. It took me 35 or 34 hours to get to the part where the game, quote-unquote, opens up.
Yeah, I'm looking at a review right now. Some people might say this game is too linear, but the game really opens up once you're about 50 hours in.
And here's the thing, that big open section where the world opens up, you can accidentally just sprint right through that in like 2 or 3 hours. And go right back onto the plot railroad to the end of the game.
I wonder if it would work on Windows, whatever I'm on.
You can get it on Steam.
I know, I'm looking at it on Steam. I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, do I want to... I'm playing Final Fantasy 16, I'm playing Rebirth, I'm loving 16.
I don't know 16. If you want to do that to yourself.
16's pretty linear, but like, what am I... Maybe one day, maybe we'll have a 13, I'll play all 3, I don't know.
I love 16, personally. 16, I enjoyed quite a lot. But, yeah, 13,
good,
if you really want to play through and see the story, I would suggest...
watching
a video of the first 13 and because most of the plot is presented to you either exactly as you saw it in the hallways and whatnot or in the in-game codex because they explain none of the terms to you at all. So you would be better suited watching a video and then occasionally pausing it to go skim the wiki.
I love the way it looked. I love the combat. The combat was amazing in that. But past a certain point I was like,
that combat only gets better in 13-2 and in Lightning Returns after that.
All right.
So
maybe I'll check it out.
13-2 is a very different beast as well. It actually adds a collection mechanic where you can collect... You have 2 main party members, which is Noel and Sarah. You can collect a variety of third party members, all kinds of monsters and different entities in the game and in the DLCs and stuff. And you can add those to your party and swap them out on the fly.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
That one's a really cool time. I think you'll you'll possibly like 13-2 more than Lightning Returns. But, yeah.
Cool.
Another obscure one...
Boo!
...that I like quite a bit. It's only obscure because it flopped hard on the Xbox.
No, that's actually
Advent
a really
Rising.
good game. Yeah. I played it on the PC.
I loved this game on PC. I also played it on PC. It's a great time. Its story will never be concluded, and that seems to be a pattern in games that I love.
Can I interrupt you? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Go for
You're
it.
creating these crazy talking points for me. That fucking game I got for free. Do you want to know what movie I got it with?
What movie did you get it with?
It was a Uwe Boll movie. It was called...
Was it Postal?
No, it was before Postal. I like Postal, by the way. I don't like Uwe Boll.
Rampage?
No, it was way before all that. So he did House of the Dead, which was... We were like, what the fuck is this? He did a movie called Seed.
Right.
He did Alone in the Dark, and then he did a movie called Seed. Nobody knows what Seed is. It's a movie about a serial killer. It's garbage. And for whatever reason, when you open up the DVD, Advent Rising... Was it Advent Rising? It was in there. And so I played Advent Rising on the PC.
What the hell? Okay.
Isn't that
How
weird?
strange. That is weird. That's crazy weird.
But I have the disc for that game, and I got it with the DVD, and it was the dumbest fucking movie.
How strange.
I literally bought the movie to talk shit about it on MySpace or whatever I was doing at the time, and then I was like, oh, let me check out this game.
Man, you remember MySpace? Remember Zanga?
Yep, Zanga and MySpace. David, you got me in trouble for drinking at Deck's house. Kelly saw your post. You told the story about how I ripped all the mailboxes out of the ground, and Kelly was like, Mom, check out this story. Grounded for the entire summer.
Okay, so it's my fault that Kelly saw my story and then tattled on you
I
immediately.
think almost nearly grown Kelly tattling on me for no fucking reason other than her amusement. It was funny because
I don't
my
know if
mom
that's
was
my
like,
fault.
be honest with me. I was like, yeah, I got drunk. I was at Dak's house. We were fine. She's like, what were you doing? I was like, I went on a rampage. And then my dad was like, you're grounded. I was
Speaking
playing...
of rampages, I've actually reenacted Andrew's escapades that night on Doom 2016.
Yes, good transition.
Yeah,
Great
synergy.
fucking game. I was gonna put Doom on my list. I did not. But David, I'm gonna go. You keep doing this. I'm gonna quit interrupting you.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay. We're reaching the end of what I've got as far as my list goes, but I'll work off of my honorable mentions and go from there. The Witcher 3, I love this game. Fantastic. It's the best of what they managed to accomplish with Witchers 1 and 2. And God, you can get so lost in this world. The only complaint that I could come up with is it reuses a lot of the same face assets for NPCs, but you get over that real fast. It really doesn't have that much of an impact. Super Smash Brothers we'll just put in as a catch-all. I'll go with Ultimate if I can find it on here. Yeah, there we go. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think Andrew had Halo 2, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Halo 3. Although ODST was spectacular, I kind of consider ODST to just be another chapter of Halo 3. Red Dead Redemption 2. Andrew's already represented this game quite a bit, and I'll just say that it's an excellent game, and everybody who hasn't played it should play it. 100%. Is that what that was called? Huh. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is, short of F-Zero, one of the fastest, most fun, crazy goddamn racing games there is out there. The graphics are great, the presentation is great. I wish that there was not necessarily more pod racing games from these devs, but maybe some other, like, we just need more racing games, more like fictitious sci-fi racing games or something that would be on the same level as Pod Racer. Doesn't need to be Pod Racer, but
No, F-Zero.
on the
What are
same
you
level.
doing, F-Zero?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, I was absolutely saying, short of F-Zero, Pod Racer is the fastest. Get out of my head, Andrew. How about that?
I'll be quiet. Okay, wait. What am I? Okay, you got Halo 2.
Okay, so we got Doom, we got
Yeah. Richard 3 is
we
great.
got Smash Bros. Ultimate, Halo 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Star Wars Pod Racer.
I missed two of the biggest games on the PS4 in my drunken stupor. Maybe you'll get them. We'll mention them if you don't do them.
Assassin's Creed.
You are going to do an Assassin's Creed?
Yep, I'm just going to add one of them. We'll go with... my absolute favorite was Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Okay, cool. Mine would have
If
been.
I had to...
Mine would have been Odyssey. Is the only.
I liked Odyssey as well, but if I had to suggest, it's sort of a weird situation. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is like my FF7 of the series, but if I had to recommend an FF9, I would actually say to go with any of the games that star Ezio, because
Yeah.
all of Ezio's stories just make this really nice, long chronicle that fits really beautifully together.
Good stuff.
Armored Core.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
You bet it was. Where is... I'm going to go ahead and add 6 for this one. It has... It's the craziest thing. Armored Core 6 is the newest, best game in the series, but it has the least customization and the smallest list of parts that you can shop from. They really went for a quality over quantity approach with this one. And while that shows, I'm hoping for the next one they just go apeshit and just throw everything and the kitchen sink in like Armored Core 7, if we ever get around to that.
Oh, they will.
One hopes. Bloodborne.
Pretty good.
I love Bloodborne. All of the
Bloodborne's
Dark
fun.
Souls games are technically horror. So is like Castlevania to an extent. It's got it's horror elements. It's not scary, but it is horror.
Bloodborne is like the best about that.
Absolutely. Bloodborne goes 100% full tilt cosmic horror and all of the worst shit, and somehow gets crazy existential. The insight system is one of my favorites. The more insight you get, the more crazy shit you see in the world, including all the grotesque things that are hanging off of the buildings. It's wild. I love it so much. Very much like a Lovecraftian Dark Souls-ish game. For that reason, actually, I'm going to follow up Bloodborne with its spiritual successor, Lies of P. Excellent game. I love this game. I just finished doing its DLC. It's just Bloodborne, but also with like a reliable parrying system. As much as I love Bloodborne, I don't like the parrying system with the pistols. But Lies of P really nails it. And it's so satisfying. It's got a great UI and feedback. All of it. All of it's just really good. Multiple endings, great story, great world building.
I think I might play Elden Ring.
Go for it, dude. Lately, I've been playing Night Rain as well.
Yeah, my son-in-law
which has
is
been
like...
deceptively really good.
I liked Bloodborne. I didn't get into Bloodborne as much as you did. I did love Bloodborne, though. I never played Lies of P, but I know my son-in-law played it a lot, so I kind of was watching him play it. And he told me that would be good, but he thinks Elden Ring would be what I should go with.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Elden Ring unfolds very organically. Considering how much you like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah.
I think Elden Ring might be up your alley.
Well, and I love Game of Thrones, so...
Titanfall 2. Titanfall 1 is great. Titanfall 2 is better only because it can do everything that Titanfall 2 or Titanfall 1 can, and it comes with a spectacular campaign, a great single-player storyline. Truly, the reason anyone is pissed off that there's never going to be a Titanfall 3 is just because Titanfall 2 was so damn good.
Leave one more, man. They did it right.
Crazily, Titanfall 2 is actually running off of a modded source engine. It's the same engine that runs Half-Life 2. It's just modded and done some crazy shits that they can do cool stuff with Titanfall.
Probably should put Half-Life 2 on my list, too. Damn, this is hard.
I know, right?
Did you put Half-Life 2?
Event Rising on there.
You didn't put Half-Life 2 on your list either. That was a big game
No.
in our life. I mean, Halo
And
2, but...
And I'm already, aside from one entry that I was holding off on because I wanted to share it while you were here, I'm already passing completely by everything that was on my list. I'm kind of going on, not fumes necessarily, but Outer Wilds. Different from the Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds was made by the same folks who did Fallout New Vegas and Obsidian Entertainment and stuff like that. Outer Wilds is another situation, not completely unlike Majora's Mask, where you have the end of your solar system to contend with, and you are repeating the same 24 minutes every single run in the game. Your progress is marked not by in-game events, but by your knowledge. The things that you learn as you progress across these different planets and traverse this place, all of that is the stuff that you are taking with you going forward. Technically speaking, if you know exactly what you need to do, and I'm not even talking like speedrun strats or like glitches or anything like that, you could beat the game in a total of 5 minutes.
Damn.
You could just go from beginning to end. If you watched a video that just told you how to beat it in 5 minutes, you could do exactly that and beat it in 5 minutes.
If you're doing it off of what you're learning from the game, though, how long do you think it'd take you to achieve 5 minutes, do you think?
Let me look up my playtime on Outer Wilds.
Because that's a really cool concept. If you don't cheat and look it up, though, I'm curious.
My total playtime on Outer Wilds, including the expansion, which capitalized more on like fear and horror and stuff like that, 36.4 hours.
Cool.
Is how long I put into that game.
It's a solid game right there. I like that.
Excellent game, very well designed, perfectly paced, in my opinion. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they did it, and they executed it beautifully.
Cool.
Let's see. There are sillier games that I like as well. Way of the Samurai is an obvious one.
Yeah.
So we'll put that on real quick.
Yeah, that's a David and me game for sure.
100%.
Then
we've got... I feel like Helldivers is a little bit too recent for me to add it as a best game of all time situation. However...
You put some time into it.
I have put some time into it. Where is...
That's funny. I got Battlefront, by the way. I was wondering if you noticed. I got Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I was like, Dave's going to get mad at me because I got this over Helldivers. It was $4, just so you know.
I'm not going to be mad at you.
Have you played Battlefront 2?
Robot Alchemic Drive. Made by the same folks who did Earth Defense Force. Robot Alchemic Drive is a game where you play as a character who can hit select on a controller, and you're swapping control between yourself and a giant robot that you make fight kaiju for you. It is a spectacularly kooky game.
Oh, rad! Okay, I was like, wait. Rad. Okay, on the Dreamcast, right?
Nope, on the PlayStation 2.
It was on PS2?
Yeah.
What am I thinking of on the Dreamcast?
I don't know.
Okay, you go on. I'm sorry.
No problem. I'm also going to add Earth Defense Force 5 just because it's a good time with friends.
Game.
Now we've got me going through my Steam list.
What fucking game am I thinking of? This is going to haunt me.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm so happy you
Another
brought
one
up
that
Rad.
me-
I love Rad. Okay, yep, Ghost of...
Yeah.
Did you put
another
Earth
game that
Defense
me and
Force
you-
on there?
Yeah, I put Earth Defense Force 5 on there. It's
yeah, dude, it's
one of my
such-
faves for playing with other people.
Such a good game. It's so good.
I think that's part of the reason why I like Helldivers so much is because it gives me a lot of Earth Defense Force vibes.
Yeah.
Especially
Only-
that, like, exceptionalism and all the aliens are evil, only it's a little bit more sinister with hindsight.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit better, too.
I also love that it's almost like they intentionally do bad voice acting in the Earth Defense Force games every time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm so down with that.
B movie game all the way. You know, that was another one. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That probably belonged on my list because I played that a lot as a kid.
Now, before The Witcher 3 was my favorite game of all time, before that was Darksiders 2. Darksiders 2 was my favorite game of all time for a good long while.
That's a good
I love
game.
the story, the world building, the acting, all of it. Just a vivid, gorgeous world. And I'm still, to this day, because I am naive and full of hope, looking forward to a sequel to Darksiders 3 and Darksiders Genesis. Final Fantasy 16 is pretty good, but I don't know if I'd call it best game of all time.
Am I thinking of Tech Romancer?
I don't know.
I think I'm thinking.
I didn't
of
get the chance to play a whole lot of Dreamcast games.
I think it's Tech Romancer. It's a fighting giant. It's not. It's not Rad. I know what Rad is. We're good. I'm old. I'm sorry.
I'm also going to put Final Fantasy 14 on here because I feel like a game that I have put so much time into that the in-game playtime command only gives me back a number of days, not hours. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't put that there, and it's a game that I've enjoyed. It's not just a game I've been addicted to, but it's a game I have enjoyed. The story, the accessibility. It's one of the only MMOs I can think of that I play on a controller that is cross-platform, and it's fully accessible, and there's absolutely no problem playing it that way. It's just really well put together.
I watched my friend play it once, like a couple years ago, like after recently, and that game looks so batshit insane to me. There was like people driving in cars, the regalia or whatever from FF15 was in there.
Yeah,
I was like, "What is this game? This looks
Cloud
so cool."
Stripe's motorcycle from Advent Children.
It literally looked like the whatever the world was called in Ready Player One to me.
Yeah, shit, that's a really good way of putting it.
You could tell that the people in this world have been there for a while and they're doing all kinds of things.
Now, this other game is one that I have put, and I'm looking at my time here, I have put 2,168.8 hours into.
I figured that was going to go in there.
And it is... no, damn it.
It's Warhammer, right?
No.
What the fuck?
I've got to check and see how many hours I've put on Darktide. Hold on.
It's a lot.
Nope, Warframe is the one that I have
Oh, damn,
put
yeah.
in that much time into. That is a lot of time I've put into that damn game.
Not the same son-in-law who was trying to get me to play Elden Ring. My other son-in-law, he, Warframe, yeah, he's 2,000 hours into Warframe, easy.
Good God. It doesn't help that they have such a... It has a system that's very friendly to free-to-play players, so you don't have to give it money. There are just times when I feel like I've certainly got money's worth out of this, so why not? And I'll occasionally throw $10 or $20 into it like once every quarter. And it's just kept going ever since I first started playing it back in 2013. This is the one that you were thinking of, which is Darktide.
I noticed you're not saying how much time you put into it.
Not nearly as much as Warframe, as it turns out, because it only came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
I have put in 500.2 hours into Darktide.
okay. I know you play that one a lot.
Yeah, I've played it. So 14, I've been playing since. Oh my god, like 2011, 2012, back when it was still 1.0 before it got shut down and rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing that forever. It makes sense why that one is only measured in days, not hours. Warframe, on the other hand, I've been playing sporadically and taken long breaks from that one since I first started playing it on the PlayStation 4 back in 2013 or so. Taking a look at a lot of the other games that I've got in my Steam list.
David, are you streaming
that's
this?
nice. I'm not streaming this, no.
Why wouldn't you stream this?
I thought you were streaming it.
I am definitely streaming it. I was just, you could have...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can. Maybe at some point I'll discuss stuff like this, but I figured since we're doing this here, just do it for your channel.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, Outer Wilds I cannot suggest enough. Hollow Knight's pretty good, but I don't know if I would say it's the greatest of all time for myself personally. I don't know if it left that much of an impression. It certainly ate up a lot of hours, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Symphony of the Night and like Mega Man and stuff, I don't know. I don't know if I'd put Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight's kind of like that. I don't know. Hollow Knight's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go with Batman Arkham City.
That's a good one. I played all 3 of those.
I haven't played Arkham Knight yet.
Arkham Knight, that's the second one, right? No, that's the third one.
Yeah, no, third one, yeah.
I just recently, in the last like 3 or 4 years, I beat the third one. The second one's my favorite, though.
And Arkham Origins was pretty good, too.
It's great.
That was the one where they had
So
Troy Baker as an excellent Mark Hamill impersonator for the Joker. Like, he really nailed a young Joker really well.
Do you know what superhero game I might take over the Batman games? Because those are probably my favorite. I think I like the Batman games better than the modern Spider-Man games, which were pretty great. But you know which one I was over both
I was just
of
about
those?
to say the Spider-Man games are actually next on my list.
Spider-Man was so good. But you know which one I liked better than both of those?
Guardians of the Galaxy?
That was good too. No, better than all 3 of those?
No. Not off the top of my head.
The Wolverine game. I hated the movie, but the Wolverine game on the 360 was so good. I was Wolverine for a couple days.
They really need to... Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why people can't wait for the next Wolverine game to come out from Insomniac.
So good. So good.
People want to see that. They've been waiting to see that. Man, so we've got this whole era.
I think Spider-Man had the best, like, most... I mean, being Spider-Man is awesome. Like, just web slinging is great.
Yeah.
Batman had, like... I mean, Spider-Man has the best villains in Marvel, but Batman has, like, the best villains out of... Not just DC, all superheroes. Batman has my favorite villains of all time.
Batman's Rogues Gallery is, like, the reason to get into Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Freeze especially. I love Mr. Freeze so damn much.
My favorite. That's funny. Did you see my... I just got a new Mr. Freeze over here. My favorite supervillain.
What? Oh my god, it's the Sad M one. Nice.
Yeah.
He was my favorite voice of Mr. Freeze, too.
Gustavo Fring might be playing the new one in the new movie that they're working on.
I hope it's him.
Oh, he'd be
Genuinely.
perfect. He'd be so perfect.
He'd be so good for that. Ah, man, I am... Am I petering out at 40? Really? I know I've got Bloodborne. Got Halo. I've already got Armored Core representation up here.
No Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I'm still coping with your decision to throw Metal Gear Solid 3.
After 5? Dude, 5 is so good. Phantom Pain is like one of the best video games ever made.
I'm going to go ahead and put Metal Gear Solid 3 out here. Not to combat yours, but it's just I have a lot of memories of like the fight with the Sorrow and coming to terms with the consequences of all the dudes that you've killed like an asshole
So
when you go through the game. Just a lot of really cool shit like that.
And I think Big Boss is... I mean, I love Snake, but Big Boss is so cool.
Yeah.
It's good
like
character.
6,000% cooler. What am I thinking of as far as... I mean, I do like Parasite Eve, but I don't know if I would put it super high. I'm going to go ahead and put Final Fantasy Tactics on here, though.
Yeah. I feel a
Because
little
I've been
weird
waiting
not...
for that for a while.
I feel a little weird not putting... that's probably my most played Final Fantasy game.
And the fact that they're bringing it back and they're doing like a proper job tree system and just reworked UI and all that stuff, just gold. Just sheer gold. I can't wait. What is the name of that? What was it? Warhammer... What was it? Total War? Dawn of War. That's what it was. Dawn of War 2. We mentioned StarCraft earlier.
StarCraft is a good one.
Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 2 is a huge, insanely moddable, infinitely replayable game because of all the crazy factions that are available in Warhammer 40k, and fans have just added more and more to that via my favorite mod, the Unification mod, and it's also one of the few games that lets you play as the Necrons, which are just zombie robots with Egyptian theming. So it's dope. They're my favorite faction, and it's one of the reasons that I got into 40k in the first place was because I had some friends who were like, "Yeah, you can play as the Necrons in this game." I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try them out, and then that was my gateway into all the lore and finding my favorite character, Trazyn the Infinite, who is a kleptomaniac who steals artifacts from all over the galaxy.
There's a Magic the Gathering Necron Dynasty deck, and I missed my chance to get it. It's worth a lot of money now.
I didn't even know that 40k had a Magic the Gathering crossover.
It was cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was like $80 when I was looking at it. I was like, I'm not spending $80 on this, and now it's like worth like thousands.
Whoa. Jeez. Now I want it.
I should start buying decks, and like I have Cloud. I have the Commander deck for Cloud, and then I made my own Cloud Strife deck.
Nice.
And I just put, like, I got VV. I got a promo card for VV. Like, it's cool, but it's so weird. It's so weird, like, what Hasbro's doing with this game.
It's so strange to see that. I'm not a player of the game, but I love collecting the cards. I love the artwork.
Oh,
so
I don't know how you're going to get...
That's my main motivation.
Have you gotten any of the Final Fantasy cards?
No.
They're
not
so...
Yet, no.
The one I went to a pre-release, and I got VV, which is the one that everybody wants. And so I have the promo stamp and its foil and everything. It's like worth like over $100 already.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and I drew that, and everybody like
just
bunch of grown men gasped, and they're like, "You want to trade?" I was like, "No, fuck, it's my card."
Hell no! I'd actually know who this character is. You can go to hell.
And I put a video on TikTok of it, and it got like 5,000 views.
Holy shit!
Yeah, people want that card.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Fuck yeah!
I'd say is my. I love that one. I wish we'd had more games like Battlefront 2.
I'm playing the new Battlefront 2, and it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
No, it's pretty good. I've enjoyed that one. I got it for free on PS4 with that PSN Plus, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking about getting it on PC. That way I can play with my dad and my brother over in Washington.
It's $4 right now until the 25th. I got it for I got it for $3.99, and everything's unlocked. It's not pay to win.
Is that on Steam?
Yeah. Yeah, I just bought it the other night. That's why.
Take a look.
That's why I ended up getting it. It's pretty good.
I will take a look. Man, I'm really
terrible at it online, but I'm only ranked 2.
Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion is pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't do any Star Wars. Battlefront would be my favorite Star Wars game, I think. But I love Force Unleashed, and I loved the Jedi games that recently came out, and I really like that Outlaws game.
I was thinking about Jedi Survivors, or Jedi Survivor. What was the second one that came out?
I think it was Survivor.
What was the first one then? Jedi Outcast, or no? Jedi Outcast was way back when.
I don't remember. I beat that on the PS4 recently. What was it? First one was Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yes. Okay.
Second one
Fallen
was
Order was
Survivor.
fantastic.
Yeah, that game was rad. It's just coming. It's more Force Unleashed, just better version of Force Unleashed.
I'll go with Death Stranding.
Yeah.
That game came out exactly when it needed to for me.
Yep.
When we had the COVID, the lockdowns, the pandemic, all that stuff. It
Came
was
out
just
before
like
that. That was like a year before.
Yeah, it was. But it took me a while to get around to the game. But,
oh, good. Okay, I was gonna say I was done with that shit when COVID hit. I was playing Animal Crossing.
That game hit just about right when I needed it to.
Yeah,
and I played it pretty much nonstop during that period.
It is such a cool game. I'm sad because Kojima's like realizing like he's an old man now. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna be making a lot more games, guys. Like, you know, I'm in my 60s and it takes me 10 years to develop my own games. Like, we're coming.
I've seen he played through, or not played through, but he saw the development team for Expedition 33, And I think my favorite comment from him online was, they developed this game with 33 people and a dog, and I feel like that's my ideal setup.
Yeah. No, there's something to be said about that. If we can keep advancing technology the way we have been, I'm hoping the days of a game sequel taking 20 years, it's gonna get better.
Yeah. Like, just smaller, more flexible teams, learning. It's part of the reason why I like this remake trilogy. It's the same exact people who worked on Remake that worked on Rebirth, and it's the same exact people who are working on the third game that worked on Remake and Rebirth.
Yeah.
These are the same people not messing around with a new engine that's coming out and trying to make it the best and most incredible thing ever. They're just doing what they can with tools that they know, and that matters a lot.
Yeah, your main. I mean, well, obviously we've been playing video games a long time. We're talking about all this crazy shit, but like, we're not that picky either. Like as gamers, like I was playing Mega Man Legends the other day. I still like that game, right?
Yeah.
That game didn't take billions of dollars to make, and it didn't take decades to make. It took a couple months probably to make Mega Man Legends. So it's like,
yeah, we didn't have to worry about crazy huge amounts of graphical fidelity to make hair textures and skin textures look amazing. Like, subsurface scattering is fantastic. It's very cool if you want to make something super cinematic, but it's not necessary for every game to be a blockbuster hit that's indistinguishable from something that just came out in theaters.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to buy a new fucking PC when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. I gotta experience it. I mean, I am excited about that, but jeez.
I'm interested, cautiously interested. I would be more excited about a new Red Dead, personally, but it's going to be a long time before we see another one of those.
I just watched videos of somebody driving on the beach with a Jeep, and all the people they were running over. I was like, look, do you know how many psychopaths are going to be able to play this and maybe it'd be cathartic?
And then they won't do it in real life? Yeah.
No, they'll probably still do it in real life because, you know, psychos.
Just let me have hope, shithead.
I was just thinking, like, personally, I would never hurt anybody, so, like... But man, I could really let out some demons in that game. That was cool. It was like 100 people on the beach, and they're just mowing people down. I was like, what the fuck?
And this is, I mean, we could also get that sort of stuff out by playing that one, what is it, Maneater game? Where you get to play as a shark that mutates.
Yeah, that game's rad. That is a cool game.
Yeah. I've also added Xenoblade Chronicles X here because it's one of the only... It had no business being as big as it was on the Wii U. A massive open world game with minimal loading, and you can get a mech to drive... a mech that transforms into a vehicle that you can drive around and step on animals and fight monsters with, and all sorts of crazy shit.
No Lucifer Ring?
Lucifer Ring, what?
On the PS1, you ever played Lucifer Ring?
Nuh-uh.
I'm just joking. I was just trying to think of random obscure games that you might have enjoyed.
Just messing with me.
No, I played. There's a game called Lucifer Ring. It's great. It was on the. I played it on the PS3, but it's PS1.
Genuinely never heard of it. I thought you were making a reference to a character in Xenoblade Chronicles X who is very much hinted at being Lucifer.
No,
I was like, what?
I was just being a pain in the ass.
Oh, what a shock!
No,
of all people.
Vampire Hunter D. No Nightmare Creatures too.
I was thinking about Vampire Hunter D, but it just wasn't one of my favorites.
It's not a good game.
It's a concept I wish would come and make a big...
I just watched that. I watched that the other night. David got me to watch Vampire Hunter D when we were little kids.
Yeah. I love that shit.
It's so good.
I guess I have been putting a lot of hours into this, not lately, but very recently, and that is V-Rising.
V-Rising's great. I actually, it's not on my computer right now, but I was like, did I take it down? I might be wrong on that. Nope, it's still on here, waiting to be played.
Yeah, I love me some V-Rising now.
It's
fantastic
good.
game.
I've been playing by myself, but it's so good.
Yeah. The server that we have up at the moment is on, like, brutal difficulty.
Oh, good. Thanks
and
for the warning.
On the one hand... I understand why my friend put it on brutal difficulty, but on the other hand, it's a lot... I don't want to say easier, but it's a lot more manageable if you can get more than one person on at a time to go and fight one of these bosses. And there's only ever two of us at most. that's ever online. So we've hit a point where we're not really getting anything accomplished at all.
Does Nathan or do either of those guys play it?
Shane. Me and Shane play it. Nathan's not a big fan of V Rising. It just didn't click with him. He plays a lot of Minecraft, though.
I know. I was thinking about hitting him up and seeing if I could bug him on his. He's probably scared to play games with me on his own stuff.
I doubt it. He knows plenty of. I almost said what you really are, but he knows plenty of super nice people.
First of all, I've been on other Minecraft servers and I'm an angel on them.
Not on my Christian Minecraft server. You're not.
I was good. I was on a big video. I dressed up like Chewbacca and I was just like, this guy was really into Minecraft and I was just like, all right, man. And I just followed him around as Chewbacca. It was such a good video.
Frostpunk. I love this game. It's a city management game about surviving after the world is frozen over. It's other people play Stardew Valley. Some people play Harvest Moon. I play post-apocalyptic survive the winter.
Harvest Moon's way better. It's a Wonderful
I
Life.
think. Oh, yeah, I do like It's a Wonderful Life quite a lot.
Jurassic Park Simulator
You mean Jurassic Park, the
video game.
the one where Jeff Goldblum is the narrator for the first few hours?
So good.
Yeah,
So good.
It's a very
I've
good
never
game.
played Frostpunk. Isn't that a tabletop game? Or a board game?
No,
I think
no.
there's a Frostpunk board game, man.
no. Frostpunk is just, at least as far as I know, especially from this developer, Frostpunk is just a city management game. You also send out expeditions to go retrieve stuff, and you find other settlements that you
That
can
actually
cooperate with.
That sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to check that
It's
out.
very good. You can get like automatons to manage your stuff. Wait on getting it actually because they're doing a remake of the first Frostpunk.
Cool.
It's called like Frostpunk 1827 or something like that. When they made the sequel on the Unreal Engine, they realized how limited their first engine was. So now they're just redoing the first game with all these new features that they have in mind.
Rad. Okay.
Yeah, so just wait on Frostpunk.
I was
and wait
looking
until
at-
the next.
I was looking at Tempest Rising, but I've just been playing StarCraft. I'm like, this just looks like it's supposed to be more like Command and Conquer, but it looks like StarCraft to me.
I've got Tempest Rising as well. Somebody got that for me. So
Do you like it at all?
I haven't tried it yet.
I was looking at
There's been so many damn games that have come out.
I have this. Yeah, I'm like behind on everything. I guess I'm not running a race.
We're in the last two, so I'm gonna go with
Mario Maker 2.
Mario Maker 1. You fucking
Mario
plebe.
Maker 2 is so much better.
Guilty Gear Strive.
Yeah. Dave and
I'm
I played a
loving
lot of
Guilty Gear
Guilty
Strive.
Gear back in the day.
He whooped my ass on Slayer, and I hated him. And for a long time,
I would
I
just
didn't
stomp.
play. Yeah, for a long time, I didn't play Slayer just out of spite because I didn't like how you played him. And 20 years
David-
later, he's my favorite character.
Is he? He's still my favorite. I'm a little bit better with him now. David is. We would play video games, and we would often play games that David owned or was playing that I had never played. So a lot of times when we played fighting games, he would kick my ass. So if I, would figure out something to exploit the situation and win, David would get very mad at me.
It would piss me off so much.
Because I would just step in and be like, stomp, 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 stomp.
Yeah. I'm really. It's
figured this
interesting.
came
I'm
out.
really countering everything you're doing with this one button input, David.
It's good timing,
That's
though.
so cool, Andrew. Oh.
I played a lot of Shaq Fu growing up, so I got good at bad fighting games.
Well, I guess
You can only beat
I'm
Shaq
at the
Fu.
very end.
Yeah, you have to pick the best game ever right now.
The best game ever, right this moment.
I think you
And
already
I'm
have it
gonna
on
go
there.
with-
You
You have quite a few really good games on here. I don't see any Resident Evil though. What's up with that, David?
Listen, you make it a very valid point. I'm going to make my last selection, and I'm going to justify it, and it's going to make perfect sense. Resident Evil Village.
Oh, okay.
Is the best Resident Evil
Close. I was close.
because specifically because of her. I have no further arguments or discussion.
I was gonna go into it, but we have to leave it. We have to leave it. I have to fix my list though. I'm inebriated, so I get. Oh, did I delete it? Can I fix one thing on here?
Is this
You do
acceptable?
whatever you want.
Is this acceptable?
I don't know. Let me find out.
I have 2 things I want to add to this list, and you did not put either of them on your list. Okay, so we have both Donkey Kong Country, so that's a little silly, right?
I only got as far as 25 because I thought we were splitting the list, so I had to make the other 25 up on the way.
Well, that's kind of what I did. I pulled it out of my ass too. This game was a big game for me when I was about the age of 6. So this could even go here because I like it on the Sega. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was a big one. I don't know why I left it out. I have the Sega cart from when I was a little kid up here. Like, I love that game. There was a really big one on the PS4. Actually, it was on the PS3 originally. I'm not going to do its sequel. I loved its sequel. I thought its sequel might have the best story in a game ever. But I'm going to just put the first one. I don't know what to replace on here with. I think I can do... Fallout 3 was such a big fucking game, though.
Yeah, but all the best parts of Fallout 3 are right there in Fallout New Vegas.
I know. That's the problem. I played both of these way too much to get rid of one of them. I think what I can do, though, that I have the same problem with Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City. I didn't put San Andreas on here, which is actually the best of the 3. I'm going to do this. Do you want to take any guesses what this last game's going to be? Best storyline. The sequel has a better storyline, but these 2 games have the best storylines I've ever witnessed in a game. Like, tears in my eyes situation.
I'm not looking at the screen, so I'm just trying to...
I haven't typed anything.
It's not Silent Hill.
No. I love the
Not Metal
remake.
Gear.
I love the remake to Silent Hill 2, and I liked Silent Hill 2 when it originally came out, but I only played Silent Hill 2 to play... it's not true. I played Silent Hill 2 because I had just rented Zone of the Enders, and I only played Zone of the Enders to play the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. But go on. Sorry. PS3.
I'm
2014.
okay, so PS3.
2014.
There are 2 games.
There are 2 games. And they here, I'll give you a hint. They've been released a lot.
I was gonna say, is it The Last of Us?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
You don't like Last of Us?
No.
You don't like The Last of Us?
No, I don't.
What the fuck?
I don't hate it. I don't have like a hate boner for it like a lot of people do for some reason.
People have hate boners for The Last of Us?
Yes, I have all of them. All of the hate boners are from me, Andrew. I mailed them out. No,
What?
I just...
Okay.
So, around the time that I played it was around the time we also had like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and they were making real big waves in media. And I just couldn't...
Wait, bring your list back up. Sorry.
Huh. Oh, bring my list back up?
Yeah.
Where'd my list go?
I don't know.
Well, I guess it's gone.
You still have to justify why you don't like Last of Us.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't like Last of Us was just because it was,
You don't like Game of Thrones? Did you just say you don't like Game of Thrones?
Nope, didn't like Game of Thrones either.
What the fuck are you saying?
It's just the misery. The constant misery and negativity.
Like this conversation?
Yes. It was so emotionally draining to play The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't... what it does exceptionally well. It's really well made and executed, but it's just not to my taste, is just the end of it.
Do you think... Because what I loved about the story in the first Last of Us, it almost hit the same way with God of War on the PS4.
Mm.
That's a pretty miserable storyline, too.
I did like God of War.
But it's dark, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Game of Thrones, and this is going to be controversial. I think people might get mad at me for saying this who like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is Lord of the Rings for a husband and wife who want to veg out and not have something be too epic for them. It's smut. It's the smut version of
That's an excellent way to put it.
It's totally it's like, what's the worst fucking thing I can do with these characters to shock people So I get why maybe like you're not a big fan of Walking Dead either, are you?
No, not really.
It's miserable. I see. My thing with Last of Us is the things in that people do things that you're like, what the fuck, but the horrible things that happen are almost justified. And Game of Thrones did not do this as well as Last of Us. The certain actions that characters take, and you're like, fuck that guy, and then you realize, oh no, I can't say fuck that guy. He's not Hitler, you know. He's doing some shitty things, but he's.
I can't say I wouldn't do the exact same thing.
Yeah,
in that
that's
situation.
So powerful to me. Game of Thrones, I like because of how mad everybody got at the end of that show, and I thought it had the perfect ending to a show I've ever seen. I was like, mwah.
I didn't think it was that bad. I think there were a couple points that felt weirdly paced, like
yes,
her going crazy. I think like her madness, the Targaryen madness going on as fast as it did.
The problem is they didn't show her. When you read the book, she like cuts people's penises off and stuff, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Because she does it to a bunch of rapists. She goes in that city instead of just they do it with they crucify them, right? And you're like, "Well, fuck them."
Right.
Now she cuts their penises off in the story, like in the book, you know. So it's a little like I knew she was a bad guy probably about season 3, and nobody listened to me.
Oh.
Everybody told me I was wrong, and then I also knew that Jon Snow is not the hero of the story. I'm talking. What? You're interrupting my show? We're talking about Game of Thrones. What you know about Game of Thrones?
I don't know, but I love you, Dad. Hi.
That's David.
Hi, David.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
You can call him Uncle David.
Hi, Uncle.
You don't
David.
have to.
Even though you've never met him before in your life. I grew up with him.
I feel like I met him when I was a little kid.
Never met David in person.
Nope,
You've
not
probably
even
seen
once.
him. He's been around. I'm always talking to him on.
I've been in the same zip code as you maybe twice.
Yeah, he grew up down the street from here. Go to bed. Take that, and go to bed. Love you. I don't know. Anyways, I knew she was a bad guy, and Brian told me I was an idiot, and then I also knew that the dragon, I knew there was going to be a zombie dragon. Brian was like, that's so unlikely. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's dragons and zombies. There's going to be a zombie dragon.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. But people really get mad when I compare it to Lord of the Rings, and I kind of consider Lord of the Rings kind of a miserable story, too, compared to The Hobbit, so it's like, what do I know? I don't know how we got into politics, but Game of Thrones is good, damn it, and so is Last of Us, and that's long-winded way.
That's how we got in. That's how we got into it. We got discussing the real politics, which was Game of Thrones and Last of Us.
I think I can approve though of you not liking it because they're miserable, because they are miserable.
But that's really the only reason. Like the games themselves, the Last of Us games are good, and they do some technically wondrous stuff, especially visually. They're some of the coolest. Like, I really like the aesthetic of an urban cityscape that's being reclaimed by nature.
Yeah,
it's
I like
just
that
a
too.
really cool aesthetic. I liked it in
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, Horizon Zero Dawn, the Horizon sequel.
Do you remember there was a game on the 360, I think, and it was like Horizon Zero Dawn, but you were like a monkey guy, and you would just climb on everything. What was that game called?
Enslaved.
Yes, I have that. That's such a cool game.
It's an excellent game. Stars Andy Serkis.
Yep.
Love that game.
Well, my friend, I'm hitting the 3-hour mark. That was a long-ass stream. I am so tired. I'm going to go to bed, man.
Okay, dude, take it easy.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Of course. Have a good one, man.
That'll do, pig. I have nothing else to say. We reviewed 28 years later. We talked. There's my 50 favorite games of all time. Should we do one more look? I don't know why we would, but let's do one more look just in case. Just in case you missed it. I'm proud. I'm happy with this list. I wanted to look at David's list one more time, but I guess we'll edit it. I think that's a solid list. We had to leave Super Mario Maker 2 on there, man. I wasn't going to leave Tetris on there either, but I played so much Tetris. can't. I'm pretty happy with this. There it is, guys. Like my favorite video games ever. All right. Good night. Sleep well. Catch you guys next week. Where is it? Goodbye.